Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. Over the past several episodes, we have journeyed through the Kishkindha Kanda, an epic saga of friendship, alliances, betrayals, redemption, and the pursuit of Dharm. From the moment Ram and Lakshman entered the forests of Kishkindha, seeking aid in their quest to find Sita, to the mobilization of the mighty Vanar army, this Kanda has been filled with invaluable lessons and transformative moments. Before we embark on the next grand chapter, Sundara Kanda, let us take a moment to revisit the key events, themes, and teachings of Kishkindha Kanda, analyzing the righteousness of Ram, the loyalty of Hanuman, the redemption of Sugreev, the downfall of Bali, the wisdom of Jambavan and Tara, and the divine intervention of Sampati.
The meeting of Ram and Hanuman is one of the most profound moments in the Ramayana. It is not just the meeting of a prince and a Vanar, it is the meeting of the master and his most devoted disciple, the beginning of a bond that will redefine the very meaning of devotion and service. When Hanuman, in disguise as a hermit, approaches Ram and Lakshman, he does so with humility and wisdom. He does not boast of his abilities, nor does he impose his presence upon them. Instead, he speaks with measured words, full of reverence, clarity, and insight. Recognizing the brilliance of Hanuman's speech, Ram turns to Lakshman and says, "One who speaks with such clarity, depth, and wisdom can never have an unrighteous heart. Only one whose heart is pure and virtuous can possess such eloquence." This moment marks the beginning of Hanuman's unwavering devotion to Ram. Unlike Sugreev, who is hesitant to trust Ram, Hanuman recognizes immediately that Ram is no ordinary man, he is Dharm itself. Hanuman's humility and wisdom remind us that recognizing greatness and serving a higher purpose requires deep understanding and surrender. His devotion to Ram is not submission, but realization, a realization that to serve Ram is to serve Dharm itself. Through Hanuman, Ram meets Sugreev, the exiled prince of Kishkindha. Sugreev, though eager for an alliance, is afraid. He does not trust Ram immediately. He fears that Ram may not be strong enough to defeat Bali, his elder brother. To assure Sugreev of his strength, Ram lifts his bow and shoots an arrow that pierces through 7 massive sala trees in a row, breaking them effortlessly. Sugreev is left in awe. Convinced of Ram's divine strength, he pledges his loyalty and promises to help Ram find Sita. One of the most pivotal and debated moments in Kishkindha Kanda is the fall of Bali, the mighty Vanar king. His story is a lesson in power, arrogance, betrayal, and the ultimate consequences of straying from Dharm. Bali was no ordinary warrior. He was blessed with a boon that made him nearly invincible in combat. Whenever he fought an opponent, half of their strength would automatically be transferred to him, making him increasingly powerful. His strength was legendary, and no one in the 3 worlds dared to challenge him in battle. However, despite his might, Bali was deeply flawed in character. His arrogance made him blind to justice, and his betrayal of his own brother Sugreev led to his downfall. Bali and Sugreev were once inseparable brothers, ruling Kishkindha together. However, their bond was shattered by misunderstanding that turned into deep hatred. One day, a mighty Rakshan named Mayavi challenged Bali to a duel. Bali chased him into a deep cave, instructing Sugreev to stand guard outside. For a long time, Sugreev waited anxiously. Then, blood began to flow from inside the cave, and sounds of battle ceased. Sugreev, fearing that Bali had been slain, assumed that Mayavi was still alive and could emerge at any moment. To protect the kingdom, Sugreev sealed the entrance of the cave with a massive boulder and returned to Kishkindha. However, Bali was not dead. He had in fact defeated Mayavi, but when he emerged from the cave, he found that Sugreev had blocked his exit and returned to the throne. Enraged, Bali assumed that Sugreev had betrayed him, abandoning him to steal his kingdom. In his blind fury, Bali chased Sugreev out of Kishkindha, seizing his wife Ruma and claiming her as his own. This was a grave violation of Dharm. No matter what the circumstances, a brother's wife is to be treated as one's daughter or sister. But Bali, consumed by his anger and arrogance, refused to listen to reason. When Ram meets Sugreev and hears his story, he recognizes the injustice that has been done. Sugreev challenges Bali to a duel, but in their first battle, Sugreev is severely defeated. Ram instructs him to challenge Bali again, but this time, Ram will intervene. During their second battle, as Bali begins to overpower Sugreev, Ram, hidden behind a tree, shoots an arrow straight through Bali's chest. Bali collapses, mortally wounded. As he lay dying, he confronts Ram, questioning the fairness of the act. "You are known as the upholder of Dharm, yet you strike me from behind without facing me in battle. How is this just?" Ram's response is a profound lesson in righteousness when he says, "Bali, you have violated Dharm by seizing your brother's wife and ruling with cruelty. You have misused your power and acted against justice. As a king and upholder of Dharm, it is my duty to punish the unrighteous, just as a hunter slays a wild beast. Your own actions have led you to this fate." In his final moments, Bali realizes his mistakes. His arrogance fades, and he seeks forgiveness. He entrusts his son, Angad, to Ram and accepts his fate with dignity. Bali's story serves as a powerful lesson in the consequences of arrogance, injustice, and unchecked power. We see that despite being the strongest warrior, Bali's arrogance and lack of justice led to his downfall. If Bali had paused to listen to Sugreev's side of the story, the entire conflict could have been avoided. And finally, we see that no matter how powerful one may be, adharm will eventually be punished. But Sugreev, once crowned as the king of Kishkindha, becomes distracted by power and pleasure. He forgets his promise to Ram and delays the search for Sita. This forces Lakshman, known for his unwavering sense of duty, to intervene. Lakshman's wrathful entry into Kishkindha shakes Sugreev to his core. Realizing his mistake, he seeks forgiveness and mobilizes the Vanar army. Sugreev's failure to fulfill his promise and his eventual redemption teach us that true leadership is not about holding power, but about fulfilling responsibilities with integrity. Lakshman's anger is a reminder that righteous anger is necessary when one is reminding others of their duty. After Bali's defeat and Sugreev's coronation as king, the next great challenge begins, the search for Sita. Sugreev, honoring his promise to Ram, mobilizes his entire Vanar army. He sends groups in all four directions, with the most important search party traveling southward, as Raavan was last seen flying in that direction. In this pivotal moment, Hanuman emerges as the true leader. Before the search begins, Ram calls Hanuman aside. He looks deep into Hanuman's eyes and, sensing his unwavering devotion and capability, places his ring in Hanuman's hands. This simple act carries immense meaning. It symbolizes trust, responsibility, and divine authority. Ram does not give his ring to Sugreev, Angad, or even Jambavan. He entrusts it to Hanuman. "This ring will serve as a token for Sita," Ram tells him. "Show it to her, so she may know that you come as my messenger." Hanuman, overwhelmed by Ram's trust, bows with devotion and promises, "I will not return without finding Sita." Hanuman's leadership is built on humility, wisdom, and unwavering devotion. Unlike Sugreev or Bali, Hanuman does not seek power, he only seeks to serve Ram. Hanuman's spiritual strength is what sets him apart. He does not doubt or hesitate, his faith in Ram gives him limitless courage. Ram's trust in Hanuman is not based on strength alone, but on character, wisdom, and humility. The search party, led by Angad and Hanuman, travels southward. But as days pass without success, despair sets in. By the time they reach the southern seashore, they have lost hope. Fearing Sugreev's wrath, some Vanars suggest fasting unto death. At this moment, fate intervenes. A mighty old vulture named Sampati, the elder brother of Jatayu, overhears their conversation. Curious about his brother's fate, he asks them what they know. Upon learning of Jatayu's noble sacrifice, Sampati feels grief but also a sense of purpose. With his keen vision, Sampati reveals that Sita is in Lanka. This revelation ignites new hope in the Vanars. They now know exactly where to go. But there is one final challenge. Who will cross the vast ocean? Just when the Vanars lost hope, Sampati appeared as a messenger of fate. Hereby we see destiny has a purpose for everyone. Sampati thought his life had no meaning, but in the end, he fulfilled his role in Ram's mission.
Now, as we transition into Sundara Kanda, we prepare for the greatest moment in Hanuman's journey, his leap across the ocean to Lanka. Kishkindha Kanda is a chapter that highlights the dynamics of leadership, devotion, and the consequences of righteousness and betrayal. From the divine meeting of Ram and Hanuman to the downfall of Bali, from Sugreev's redemption to Hanuman's rise, this Kanda sets the stage for the grand journey ahead. Join me in the next episode as we begin Sundara Kanda, where Hanuman embarks on his legendary journey across the ocean, defying all odds in his service to Ram. Share this podcast with your loved ones, and may the lessons of Kishkindha Kanda inspire your journey toward Dharm and devotion. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence reminds us of the enduring power of compassion, courage, and hope in the face of adversity. Until next time, may the light of Dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.